Hey y'all, and welcome to Monarch's Market and welcome to the Bloom with Grace Challenge. Before I get into my video today, I just wanted to send you if you're new to my channel and you haven't been here, I've been gone for the past 3 weeks. We have had 11 deaths in our family, and well, family and friends, I can't really say family, but it's been very overwhelming, and I have not been here for about 3 weeks now to be able to craft and bring you anything. I have had the most amazing outpouring of love and support sent by mail and direct mail and all of the other good things that, ways for you to contact me, and it's just been overwhelming. I am so new to YouTube. I haven't even been here a year yet, and to have the love and support that I've been shown has just been mind-blowing, because I'm nobody, and you've treated me with such love and respect. I'm sorry. And I'm just overwhelmed at the support that I've been given. I'm really sorry. I was gonna try not to cry, but it's just been overwhelming. But anyway, today is the Bloom with Grace Challenge. This month is Peonies, and my co-host is Favi with Arrows DIY. Thank you, Favi, for being my co-host this month. This is a brand new challenge. This is only our second month, and there will be a playlist below, so make sure you go follow it and watch what everybody's created for you. But I just didn't even want to start this video, my first one back from being gone for so long, without just a sincere thank you for all of the love and support, and just thank you. I just don't. Thank you. Be sure you go over to Favi's channel, Arrows DIY, and if you are not already subscribed to her channel, make sure you subscribe to her channel. You will not be disappointed. She, like me, is very new to YouTube, and I just want to get behind her and let her know how much we care. So for DIY number 1, I have this little riser that I am going to be putting on my dresser to set my different perfumes on top of, and it's so super easy to make. I'm going to make it with 2 of these round signs from the Dollar Tree and one of their new calendars that have just recently come out for 2022. So I'm going to start by going in and taking the peony picture out, since that's our theme for the month, and just rip it out of there, get it ready to go. Take one of my rounds, and I'm going to use the paper Mod Podge to glue it down to my round. And I just simply, like you see me doing, take a paintbrush and just slather it on there. Get it good and smooth. You don't really want it too thick, but just enough so that the paper will stick. Get it on there, and it was just easier for me to flip it upside down and put it on there. Now, I have found with the Mod Podge, if I don't apply some sort of heat, it will wrinkle up. But even if it wrinkles up, don't panic, because you can do one of 2 things. You can take your iron, your regular clothes iron, and put a Teflon sheet or a little hand towel or something over the top of it and simply iron it. I've done that, and it takes every single tiny wrinkle out. Well, this time I didn't want to take my iron out, so I just grabbed my heat gun and my little roller that I got recently, and it done the same thing. It took every single wrinkle out with just a little bit of heat from the heat gun. I also use my heat gun to remove all of my stickers, because they just come off so much easier like that. Then I take the 20mm beads that I get from Amazon, and everything that I'm using that I can find will be linked below. And then once I get those 2 rounds put together, I take the Ballet slippers by Waverly that you just saw, and I go all over the bottom and the sides. I wish I would have thought to paint the inside edges of those pictures first, because you can see some of the picture peeking through, but nobody's going to see it but me. And I just didn't really want to take it back apart to paint that inside. So if you see a little bit of the edges, don't worry about it, because like I said, I'll be the only one who sees it. But anyway, I got it all painted with the Ballet slippers, which to me is a gorgeous pink. And then I went in with this Vintage Effects wash and painted my little feet. Now these feet I got from Hobby Lobby, and again, they will be linked below in my description box. And they're just called bean cups. They're just little bean cups. And I painted 4 of them and added them to the bottom with some hot glue. And they are super cute for little feet to make your riser. If you go to Hobby Lobby and look in their little section where these came from, there are so many different shapes and sizes of things that you can use for little legs that I go crazy when I go in there. And I've probably got 4 or 5 bags of these things, but I use them a lot for different things. So anyway, once I get all 4 of them done, I take what's left on my brush of the Vintage Effects wash, and I just sort of go in and distress it down, because if you have been to my channel before, then you know I love that farmhousey kind of distressed look. It's not for everybody. Some people love it, some people hate it. I happen to love it, and it's just my jam. So I put my feet on, and once I got my feet on, I decided I wanted something on the top to go around the edge, and I started to put some nautical rope around it. And then I thought, no, I would go ahead with the bead theme and use my little half beads that I have. And then that way, if something goes to slide, those beads will stop it from like sliding off the edge. It's just like a little barrier, if you will. So I originally took the same paintbrush that I still had that Vintage Effects wash on, and went over the top of these beads, and they were kind of dark, but I just didn't like it. With all the pinks and whites, it was just too much. So I went back in with some white Waverly chalk paint and went back over the top of it. Now, I did not cover these half beads completely, but I did cover them enough that it brightened it back up, and it looked a whole lot better after that. And then, as you see, I just kind of went around the edge and lightened it up a little bit more, because the Vintage Effects wash was just too much for this with all the pinks and the whites. And that was it. So super quick and simple and easy, and I just thought it turned out so cute. So make sure you leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about my little riser, and definitely give me a big thumbs up if you like what you see so far. When you do that, it really, really, really helps to support my channel. So for DIY number 2, I have this little cafe sign. Now, some people call it a picture frame. I've always heard it called a cafe sign, so that's what we're going to go with. I got this from the Dollar Tree. It is made of plastic, but I absolutely loved the design. Now, I had to take a sander and sand it down because it was so super slick. If I would have tried to paint it, it would have just beat it off, like it wouldn't have stuck to it. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I ended up putting tape around the inside of that, and I'm going to go in with my white Waverly chalk paint and give it a good coat of paint. But once I did, I couldn't get the daggum tape off, so I ended up having to remove the whole middle, which was not a big deal because it ended up working in my favor anyway. So as I was trying to figure out how to take it out, it just actually popped open and was so super easy to put back together. It just popped right back together. So I took this piece of scrapbook paper. It's actually real thick, heavy cardstock, and it's double-sided, and I thought it was just beautiful. So I put it in there, and then I found a couple of little wood pieces in my stash. I have no idea where they came from. I want to say that one right there probably came from Hobby Lobby. And the little heart, there's honestly no telling where that came from because I don't throw anything away. So I took this little scrap piece of paper here, and I used a part of it for the one thing, and then that little piece right there for the little heart. And I just kind of staggered the side that I was using. So then I'll put the pink striped one right smack in the middle of my cafe sign, and then the little heart right smack in the middle of that, just to decorate it up. Once I did that, I actually made a bow, but for DIY number 3, when I made my bow for this and the DIY number 3 because they all coordinate and match. And I just made 2 bows at the same time. Get my tongue untied. So you won't actually see me make the bow until my next DIY. But this is me just gluing everything together with that same Mod Podge, and it worked perfectly. And that cardstock was heavy enough that it went beautifully inside that frame. And for once, I didn't distress it. So let me know what you think about the way my little sign turned out. Once I got my little messy bow on there, I just put a little half bead to keep in the theme with the tray, and then put another one on each side of my little frame. I was trying to decide there whether I wanted to or not, and I did. So I just added the little half bead, and that was it. I was done with this, and I thought it turned out so adorable. So once again, let me know down in the comments what you think about my little cafe sign and how it turned out. I love a Victorian vintage look. Like, that's always been my absolute favorite, and I love these pinks, and the peonies are my favorite. Now, that sort of looks like a rose to me, but on the paper, it was literally titled peonies. So I just went with it. Either way, it's a gorgeous print, and I love the way it turned out. Now, my DIY number 3 is this cute little tag sign that I got from the Dollar Tree. Everything that I am using today that can be listed will be listed down in my description box if you would like to know where it came from and how you can purchase it. So I'm going back in again, keeping with my theme with the white Waverly chalk paint, and I'm going all over the entire tag. Now, I did not do the part where the chalkboard is because I wanted it to be able to glue down to that little piece without coming back up. So I left the chalkboard just like it was, and once I got my tag painted, I went in with that same exact print from my cardstock and cut a little piece out for that little square right there where the chalkboard square is at. And I was originally going to leave the chalkboard there, and I thought, no, you know what, it's just going to be really pretty to bring all the pieces together that I was using and just, like make one whole themed deal. So a vignette is the proper term. That's something I've learned since I've been on YouTube. So that's the actual package right there that it came out of. And I wish I would have flipped through to let you guys see all of the beautiful prints inside there. Oh my gosh, they were just absolutely gorgeous. So I just kind of took my fingernail and went around the edge, and you'll see when I flip it over, see there? It was the perfect little guide to show me where to cut it at. So I just went in and continued to sort of push it down so that I could see where I needed to cut, and then just kept trimming it up until I got it all trimmed up and ready to put down. Same Mod Podge, same everything. So I put it down on there, and then I took these really pretty cursive letters is what I'm going to call them. They're little wood letters that I got from Hobby Lobby. And once again, they will be listed down below, but they're really, really pretty, just wooden letters. And I originally wanted to spell out I love you, but there wasn't room as big as these letters were. So I just ended up putting the word love, because I'm in the process of redoing my bedroom in these pink peonies and just like an old Victorian shabby chic style. I cannot wait to get it done. I'm not in any hurry to get it done, so it's probably going to be a while. But that is one of the reasons that I picked the word love, because, well, I'll just leave it at that. Just pick the word love. I better stop while I'm ahead. So anyway, this is the burlap ribbon that you can get from the Dollar Tree right now. Now, this is the fall sticker that's around it, but I find you can find this all year long. It literally is there all year long. So I was going to put a whole piece of it across the top, but it ended up being too thick, so I cut it right down the middle. And once I got it cut down the middle, it was perfect size to just sort of wrap around the front of my little tag. Once I got that done, I cut it in half again and just made a couple of little strips for my actual bow. Now, this is the bow that I was telling you in the DIY previously that I made, and whenever I was making it for just this tag sign, but it ended up being so long, I realized that I could cut it down the middle and make two bows, one that would be perfect for the tag sign and one that was perfect for my little cafe sign that thought I was finished with. And then when I ended up being able to make the bow, that was kind of an afterthought of, being able to go back and put it on that cafe sign. So you've already seen that part. So anyway, I'm just telling you kind of how I came to having a bow for that. And guys, please forgive me for being all over the place. I am literally just trying to kind of get back in the swing of things. You would not think that being gone for 3 weeks would throw you off, but it's just thrown me for a loop, and it's taken me a minute to catch my breath and get back into crafting. And honestly, even caring about crafting right now is a stretch. So, but it did help me to get my mind off of everything. It really did. And I'm glad that I pushed myself to go ahead and do it, because I feel so much better now. And that part's over, and I can continue on with creating and making my videos and get out of the sort of poor pitiful me funk that I've been in for the past 3 weeks. So I'm glad, like I said, that I went ahead and pushed myself. So anyway, I'm rambling now. I went ahead and made my little messy bows, one for each sign, added it to the front of that little piece of burlap, and then I added a little half bead. Now, once I got that done, I wanted to make my hanger, so I went in with these little 20 millimeter, get my tongue untied, 20 millimeter balls, and they're not balls, what are they called? Beads. It's late, y'all, I'm tired. And use the same ballet slippers that I used earlier in the video. See, y'all, I'm getting all messed up. I'm just too tired to be doing this. But anyway, I will keep on until I'm done. So I put my little hanger on there, got it all tied on, and I'm so glad that I took that extra few minutes to paint those beads pink, because to me, it was just a perfect little touch to that tag sign, and I thought it just turned out too stinking cute. So let me know what you think down in the comments below about my tag sign. I think it's adorable, and I love the way it looks with the other two pieces that I have done so far. Now, DIY number 4, y'all, I am not even going to lie. I was on the struggle bus with this one. I thought it would be so easy to make, and it was a hot, stinking mess. Now, this little round thing right here, I want to say maybe came from Hobby Lobby. I honestly don't remember. Could have come from the Dollar Tree, but it was really, really rough. So I took my little hand sander and I just went around the edges and got all of those little splinters off and got it really good and cleaned up. Once I did that, I went in with the ballet slippers, keeping the theme with the entire video, and I painted it, and that is the prettiest pink to me. I absolutely adore this color pink, and my bedroom is going to be so pretty whenever it's done. It's going to have pinks and creams and whites and greens, a couple different shades of greens. And like I said earlier, it's going to have that vintagey Victorian feel. So I took this beautiful, beautiful tissue paper that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and I tried to do my first decoupage. Now, when I see other people do it, it looks so easy, but it was a hot mess. But I did find that all you have to do is get a good amount of your Mod Podge on your whatever you're using, and you just lay down your tissue paper. Now, I ended up doing 2 or 3 layers because I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I almost did not put this in the video because it was such a mess. But it ended up turning out okay in the end. But if you decoupage and you're good at it, you're probably cringing right now at what I'm doing because I struggled and struggled. I ended up tearing it off, putting it back on, tearing it off, putting it back on. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm not going to fight with it anymore. I'm just going to cut me some pieces off, put some more Mod Podge back on, and just keep layering it until it looks good. And I was honest and truly surprised at the end result, considering I took it apart and put it back together so many times. I really did that probably 3 or 4 times before I realized that it was not going to be perfect. I was not going to get the wrinkles out, and the wrinkles actually gave it some character. And I love the way it turned out in the end, especially after it dried. Oh my God, it's so stinking gorgeous. And that tissue paper is stunning. I made a little jewelry box out of one of their boxes that you can get in the party section recently with this tissue paper, and it matches perfectly. So this is what it looked like in the end, and I don't know about you, but I happen to love it. I think it turned out so pretty after I fought with it, and it's not hard to do. I made it way harder than it needed to be. So don't look for perfection. Just put it together organically. It'll come together and you will absolutely love it. So let me know what you think about my little, I don't even know what to call it, I guess little vase. And now I'm going to show you my final reveal, my whole vignette all put together, and just one last look at it. So while you're looking at this, I just want to remind you to go down to the playlist that is listed below in my description box and make sure you show everybody some love. Don't forget to show some extra love to Favi over at Arrows DIY for being my co-host today. Go ahead and subscribe to her channel if you're not already subscribed. She is doing a wonderful job, and I love to watch her, and I love to hear her talk. Like, I could listen to her talk all day long. So leave me a comment down below. That's super duper important to my channel. And thumbs up are always super duper helpful to all of us. And comment. If you comment, I will definitely always comment you back. Now, I know I've got a lot of comments to catch up on from being gone for the past few weeks. So if you have commented me in the last 3 weeks, I apologize that I haven't commented you back yet, but I'm going to get to you very soon. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. We will do Bloom with Grace again next month, the 3rd Saturday of every month at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and our theme next month is Moms. So we'll see you then. Bye, y'all.